Christopher Dorner wrote a manifesto prior to shooting and killing these innocent individuals, and he talked about a variety of different topics in it. It was a 19-page manifesto, and of course, the bulk of it had to do with Teresa Evans. So here's what he had to write about her. She has admitted that she has a lengthy use of force record and has been flagged several times by risk management. She has a very well-known nickname, Chupacabra, which she was very proud to flaunt around the division. She found it very funny and entertaining to draw blood from suspects and arrestees. At one point, she even intentionally ripped the flesh of the arm of a woman we had arrested for battery, sprayed her neighbor with a garden hose. Knowing the woman had thin, elastic skin, she performed an Indian burn to the woman's arm and after cuffing her. That woman was in her mid-70s, a mother, a grandmother, and was angry at her tenant who failed to pay the rent on time.
So now he's whistleblowing on this other cop, and now, of course, you know, if things are normal, the rest of the LAPD is not going to be happy about the whistleblowing. If he's telling the truth, which is a big if, because the guy obviously has huge mental issues, right? Well, you know, that's obviously incredibly concerning, and it's the kind of police brutality that we warn about all the time, and that should be addressed. Again, it's a big if he's telling the truth. But if he is, you know, here we go again with cops covering for each other and throwing the guy who's trying to be a decent cop under the bus.
Yeah, he continues. He says, Evans, you are a piece of shit, and you lied right to the BOR panel when Randy Kwan asked you if you kicked Christopher Gettler. You destroyed my life and name because of your actions. Time is up. The time is now to confess to Chief Beck. So I want to really focus on that because throughout the entire manifesto, he has this obsession with his name. You ruined my name. You ruined my reputation. I am not a bad person. You guys are the bad people. You lied. So he has this obsession with revealing who the liars are and protecting his name. But of course, you know, he's crazy. And in your quest to protect your name, you've actually destroyed your name and you've destroyed your reputation.
The manifesto is riddled with irony.
Yeah.
And but you know, you see that oftentimes with mentally unbalanced folks, right? Like, oh my God, I got to protect my reputation, and you've done something wrong to me. Like, they view themselves as a force of goodness. Like, this guy feels like he's a comic book hero in some sense, right?
I got that sense for sure.
Yeah. But unfortunately, he's doing the exact opposite of what a hero would do, which is he's shooting and killing innocent people that didn't even have anything to do with this.
Yeah.
So, look, when you lose your mind, it's not a good place to be.
So let's move on to the corruption that he talked about in the manifesto. And Jesus, this is graphic number 4. He says, from 205 to 109, I saw some of the most vile things humans can inflict on others as a police officer in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the streets of LA. It was in the confounds of LAPD police stations and shops, cruisers. The enemy combatants in LA are not the citizens and suspects, it's the police officers. Are you aware that the officer, a rookie probationer at the time, seen on the Rodney King videotape striking Mr. King multiple times with a baton on March 3rd, 1991, is still employed by the LAPD and is now a captain on the police department? Captain Ronaldo Solano is now the commanding officer in the LAPD Police Station, West LA Division. As a commanding officer, he is now responsible for over 200 officers.
So, you know, even if you're trying to do the right thing, when you get this hero complex, look, there are real heroes and there are real whistleblowers. You know, Bradley Manning is a whistleblower, and he said before he had any idea that he was being tracked, hey, I'm doing this so the American people could find out what their government's really up to. You know, there's Thomas Drake at the NSA. There's all these great heroes that did this. But when you have a hero complex, sometimes you take what could be a good thing, like whistleblowing on what the LAPD is doing wrong, and you blow it out of proportion, and in your own view, you're some sort of, you know, the guy who's going to ride to the rescue.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he rides to the rescue by shooting a couple people in the head.
By the way, he's of the mind that if he dies as a result of what he's doing, he's totally fine with that. He's accepted that. He's like, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of people murdering or killing me. This is something that I'm willing to do as my effort to reveal what's going on behind closed doors in the LAPD.
It would be shocking if he didn't get his wish.
Yeah, I
The
know.
LAPD's looking for him now. Nevada police are looking for him. Everybody's looking for him. And they got all their fingers on the trigger. If he makes it back alive into a jail cell, I would be shocked.
When it comes to mass shootings, he actually addresses that in his manifesto as well, which I found fascinating. He talks about the assault weapons ban, and here's what he had to say. This is graphic 8A. He says, if you had well-regulated assault weapons ban, this would not happen. The time is now to reinstitute a ban that will save lives. Why does any sportsman need a 30-round magazine for hunting? Why does anyone need a suppressor? Why does anyone need an AR-15 rifle? This is the same small arms weapons system utilized in eradicating Al-Qaeda, Taliban, and every enemy combatant since the Vietnam War. Who in their right mind needs a fucking silencer? Who needs a freaking SBR AR-15? No one. No more Virginia Tech, Columbine High School, Wisconsin Temple, Aurora Theater, Portland Malls, Tucson Rally, Newtown Sandy Hook.
Obvious, tremendous irony here in first the guy talking about who in their right mind when he's clearly not in his right mind. And number two, talking about the mass shootings when he just killed 3 people and is promising to kill more. Now, so far, he does seem to be principled, though. It doesn't seem like he's using an assault weapon.